Hello there, welcome back to my channel. With only a few days left until Easter, I thought I'd share with you some really quick and easy, cute DIY Easter ideas. So let's jump straight into it. The first DIY is these little Easter gift bags. So I started off by making these little bunny cutouts using my Cricut machine. And I also cut out some little white circles for the bunny's tails. So I'm just gluing those on to start with. And I'm then grabbing some brown paper bags and I'm just going to cut off the messy bit at the top and I'm going to do some calligraphy. So I'm getting out my Pentel Touch brush pen. I love this. This is my favorite calligraphy pen. And I'm just writing my friends and family's names on the bags. And then I'm going to stick on my little bunnies. And we're ready to fill the bags. So I went out and bought a bunch of little Easter eggs because I like to mix and match. I think it's just a fun way to give Easter eggs. And I'm just filling each of the bags with a variety of different Easter eggs, like so. This is just a really cute way to present your Easter eggs. And if you don't have a Cricut machine, you could just cut out a little bunny by hand, or you could just draw a bunny or decorate the bags however you like. But I just think these are super cute and I'm really excited to give these to my friends and family. Okay, so the next DIY we're going to do are these little chocolate Easter egg nests. Oh my goodness, these are so delicious and they're so easy to make. There's only 4 ingredients, so you just need peanut butter, chocolate melts, some little packet fried noodles, and some mini eggs. And I just got this recipe off Cadbury's website, so I'll leave that link down below. And I'm starting off by putting the chocolate melts into a bowl and then putting 2 tablespoons of peanut butter in with it and just microwaving this for 30 seconds. And I'm just then stirring it up, and as you can see, the chocolate and the peanut butter are starting to melt together. And I'm then going to put it in the microwave for another 30 seconds until it's completely melted, and stirring it up again. And once it's all melted in together, I'm just adding the packet of noodles and just mixing it all in together. It's seriously so easy. So once it's all mixed, I'm grabbing a baking tray and some baking paper, and I'm just going to put spoonfuls of that mixture onto the baking tray, leaving a bit of a gap in between. So this mixture made about 12 little nests, and once I've scooped out all the mixture, I'm just coming in with a little teaspoon and I'm going to pat down the noodles just at the top so that it creates a little nest shape for the Easter eggs to sit in. And I'm then just putting this whole tray into the fridge and letting that set for a couple of hours. Once it's all set, I'm lifting the chocolate nests off and placing them down onto a plate. And we're ready to come in with the little mini eggs and put them into the nests. And how adorable are these? They're seriously so easy and quick to make, and I'm really excited to eat these with my family. Okay, so the last DIY I'm going to show you are these cute Easter sugar cookies. I'm obsessed with making sugar cookies. I make them all the time now. If you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen me share some of my creations. So I didn't actually have an Easter egg cutter. So what I did is I got a little bit creative and I just got a round metal cutter and I bent it into the shape of an Easter egg, which is seriously so easy. So I'm then going to make the cookie mixture, and I'm using my all-time favorite sugar cookie recipe. I'll leave it linked down below, but it's seriously the best recipe I've been able to find. And the ingredients are flour, sugar, vanilla essence, butter, and an egg. And I won't explain in detail, I'll just speed this up because, you know, it's pretty self-explanatory, and if you follow the recipe, it's really easy. But yeah, I'm just mixing it all up in my KitchenAid. And I should mention, if you guys want to see how I decluttered and reorganized my pantry and made these labels for these containers, then I will leave a link to my pantry declutter video down below so you can go check it out. And I also have these labels on my Etsy shop. Shameless plug. Okay, so now that the dough is all ready to go, I'm just going to knead it a little bit down on the bench top. So I'm then grabbing a rolling pin and these little rolling pin measuring rubber bands. That's definitely not the proper term for them. I don't know what they're called, but I'll leave a link below to where to get them. But basically what they do is they just make sure your dough is all the same thickness consistently across when you roll it out. I also like to roll my cookie dough between 2 layers of baking paper. I just find this makes sure that it's really smooth and that it doesn't stick to the rolling pin. So once I've rolled the dough out, I'm then coming in with my Easter egg cutter and just cutting out the dough and then peeling back the little bits of dough in between each of the Easter eggs. And once I've cut out all the eggs, I'm then going to lift them off gently and place them down onto a lined baking tray. And these are now ready to go into the oven. So I then baked the cookies for about 10 minutes and the dough did expand a little bit. As you can see, some of the eggs are stuck together. So I'm just coming in with a knife and gently separating them, and they can be salvaged, which is good. And to prevent this from happening for the next batch, I'm actually just putting them into the freezer first. I find that this helps them to keep their shape and not spread as much when you bake them. Okay, so once they're all baked, I'm transferring them to a cooling rack and just letting them cool down for a little while I prep my fondant. So moving on to the fondant, this is the one that I like to use. It's just the Coles brand white icing and it's really good. It's the best one I've tried so far. And I'm just separating the fondant out into 4 sections because we're going to color it with different food coloring. And you really do want to use the tiniest bit of food coloring because I find that a little bit goes a very long way, and especially if you want them to be a pastel color. So I'm just coloring each of the sections of fondant first. So we've got a pastel yellow, green, pink, and blue. And then I'm going to roll each of the fondant out individually. And again, I'm doing this by putting the fondant in between 2 layers of baking paper to make sure that it's completely smooth and flat, and again using these little measuring rubber bands to make sure that my fondant is the same thickness consistently across the surface. Okay, so once that's rolled out, I'm then coming in with my egg-shaped cookie cutter again and cutting out the fondant. Now the way that I attach the fondant to the cookies is by wetting the surface of the cookie, which sounds really weird, but trust me, it works. So I just dip my fingers in a little bit of water and then rub them over the surface of the cookie. And what this does is when you put the fondant down onto the top of the cookie, it kind of dissolves a little bit of the fondant and makes it stick to the cookie. Just trust me, this works. So as you can see, I'm very gently lifting the fondant off of the baking paper and onto the surface of each cookie, and then with completely dry fingers I'm just running my finger around the edge of the fondant to make sure that it's placed on evenly, and then I'm running my fingers across the surface of the fondant to gently press it down and make sure that it's completely smooth. And I'm just going to speed this up while I do it for the rest of the cookies. So there we go, I've got a whole bunch of different pastel colored cookies, and so we're now ready to stamp them. And I'm just coming in with this cute little stamp. I got this from Daiso, but you can also get them off eBay. I'll find some links and leave them down below. In fact, I'll just leave every link or product or thing that you need to know listed down below. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how I made these adorable Easter sugar cookies. And of course I had to do matching nails. And a little trick to use up the last of the fondant is to smush it all together and roll it out, and it creates this really pretty pastel marbly effect in the fondant. So I just made a couple of these with the excess fondant at the end. So there we have it. There's a few little quick and easy Easter DIYs. I hope you enjoyed this video. I had so much fun making it. Let me know if you want to see some more videos like this in the future. I hope you all have a safe and happy Easter, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.